Okay, here's probably my worst trade of last week, PSTG short, which was a pretty damn big loss, but I took the loss. This wasn't a bad short because of the stock. I believe it was a bad short because of my terrible market timing and overall positioning. So let me show you here what PSTG is looking like. So right now, obviously it bounced, right? But when I'm entering PSTG, it's this big, massive, chunky red D1 candle below all three SMAs and below two major algo lines coming up through here. There's also a ton of relative volume. So basically this thing checks off every single box. It's magical Christmas land on PSTG. But here's the problem. I'm also short two other tech stocks, and tech is a volatile sector. So I'm short AMD, I'm short Microsoft PDS, and then I decide for some stupid reason to go short a third tech stock, which means 60 to 80% of my portfolio is tech. So if tech bounces, I'm screwed. I'm short 3 times essentially what I should be short. Here's the next problem. I go over to here on SPY, and this candle right here is exactly the candle that I enter PSTG short on. So SPY has been going down like crazy ever since that big day last Friday. So we have a bearish day last Friday. We have another bearish day. Even though this finished green, it's a bearish hammer on the Monday, then on the Tuesday, then on the Wednesday, then we're here on the Thursday. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down days in a row. Are you really going to expect just nonstop down all the way through? Then we start this 5th down day on a gap down, a bounce, 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 bounce off of this upsloping algo line. So this algo line is not being broken, and there is terrible volume today, and it's right before a long weekend. Then we get this final drop through. We get this candle through here, and me, like the idiot I am, doesn't wait for the confirmation below support or the low of the day. Doesn't wait for the confirmation even below the algo line, just shorts right here because I'm greedy and I'm also impatient, and it's already 1 p.m. and I haven't taken enough trades per my expectations. So now we get below this algo line, and then there's also this line of support right through here from this pivot low as well. And it just rips against me completely. And PSTG from my short position right through here just goes up and up and up and up and up. So I shouldn't have taken this short. But let's say this was the only short that I took in tech, and PSTG was maybe something that I was still bearish on the overall market on. Should I hold this stock overnight like I held Microsoft or AMD? And both of those went way back in my favor in a good way. The answer is no, and here's why. PSTG broke through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of support, and then immediately just plowed right back through all of them. So what that tells me is that selling pressure really wasn't as stable as we thought it was. Look how many lines of support it popped right back above. Right around here, I just took the loss and said, there's no way. I'm not going to bank on SPY going back down and then also having this thing have to re-break all of these lines of support for me to break even on this thing. And lo and behold, the next day, it didn't drop like the rest of the stocks did. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft right through here, and you can see the same sort of action on Microsoft. So I had a PDS on this thing. It broke this clean line of support. Both of these, they're not really algo lines, but both of these kind of support lines through here. Now, this finished green on that day, so that's kind of sketchy, but it's still below the SMAs. It's still below everything else. And then the next day, it doesn't really have that hard of a time getting back down when we see that drop later on in the day. So this was something that you probably could have held, but PSTG, no way. This thing just did a crazy run. Break, 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 break. And then now you expect it to do it again on the second day? Not going to happen, okay? So the mistake on PSTG was over-leveraged in check, and then also terrible market timing. Just just unacceptable on my part. If I want to be a pro at this, this is not the way to short or trade. But I took the loss, and the loss could have been a lot worse. So that's my worst trade of last week.